8 Tim Moore, 9 Lachlan Russell, 10 Joel Tubbs, 11 David Fanuku, 12 Luke Westman, 13 Matt Roberts, 14 Josh Honan, 15 Ray Simmons, 16 Shalom, 17 Alan Newton. The Helensburgh side, number one, a few changes to the Berg side. We've got Wayne Bremer back from holidays wearing the 16, so a massive plus for the Berg. James Dyan, Mutu Stanley, Lachlan Peachy. 5 is Joel Kingham. 6 Grant Smith, but we'll see him playing the 9 today. Wear the 6 on his back, but look at him at dummy half. 7 Corey Willis. 8 Chris Coleman. 10 Steve McCullum. 11 Dan Arua. 12 Kyle Green. 13 Azan Taroa. 14 Jaden Banovic. 15 Mitch Bailey. 17 Tim Davies.
A break mate there, Johnny, straight through the middle. Sorry to interrupt you there, mate. It's the big man Chris Coleman going up towards halfway, so a good opening set there for the Berg. It is Corey Willis putting in that kick. It looks like that'll roll into touch, so a good first upset there from the visitors. Sorry to interrupt you there, Johnny, if you want to continue your way down the sheet.
No, I got to the bottom there, Mitch, but as I said in that, just there, talking about the teams, Wayne Bremer back from holidays in the side, and what a confidence boost that must be for the Helensburgh Tigers.
Tell you what, doesn't look like he's carrying too much holiday weight there, Johnny. He hasn't come back from Cooter the way you have, that's for sure.
Full of compliments today, Mitch.
Looking sharp there. It was a good opening set there from the Tigers. Getting to the kick and making good progress up the field. It will be the Eagles' first touch of the afternoon from the scrum. And a shift early there to White. Liu Fowl over here on this wing. He'll be pulled down 5 in from touch. White there at dummy half. Up to halfway now, the Eagles. Good progress being made there as well. Josh Brown there, taking it up to the 40. Tim Moore there at the back, White again. And Ali Alouche over on that side. So the halves linking well early on. Looking sharp here early on the Eagles. They go blindside. That'll be Alouche again. Some space on that side. It's like Harrigan bringing it back infield. Eagles now mounting some pressure. They're 5 metres out. Lined out both sides of the ruck. They come right to White. Neat little kick there, and a mistake there from the Tigers. It may have gone backwards. Play on is the call. And it's Azan Taroa that picks up the scraps there. He'll play it 5 metres out from his own line. This is McCallum. Big town McCallum. He just keeps on keeping on. As we see now, this is Peachy coming away from dummy half. Fair pedigree there in Peachy over in the centres on that side. Now it's Bremner into dummy half, so the back 5 getting involved early here for the Tigers. Bremner, he shrugs away from one there. Dragged down there by Eccleston. Fanuku also involved. And he spilt the ball there, so some extra pressure. Good aggressive approach in defence there from Eccleston.
I think a little bit unlucky there, Mitch. Bremner just trying to play the ball quickly there. There was a little bit of hand all over the ball from the Berkeley defence, but referee was close to the touch, judge, so call was made, and Berkeley with a big chance early, about 35 metres out from the Helensburgh try line, and they look sharp in that first set, Mitch, going side to side throwing the ball.
Yeah, certainly did. Coming in with plenty of intent early on. You always do wonder how a side will go coming off the bye. But have come out here and shown their hand early on. It will be White to feed the scrum. Bit of argy-bargy there from the big men up front as well. This is Alouche. Over on the side, the Eagles again. This will be Westman. Takes it up to the 10. Russell at dummy half again. On to Moore. Met there in the tackle of Taroa. Slower play the ball than he would have liked. Russell again, Alouche. Flat ball there for Westman. Just a metre out now, the Eagles. Mountain of possession here early on, looking to make the most of it. White brings more back underneath. Just a settler there, some numbers to the right if they go that way. They go left to Alishay, some numbers on that side as well. A good ball there from Alishay. And the Eagles are over there early on. Matt Boss crossing on the left edge. And as we see there, the energy Berkeley have come out with playing there, Johnny. They get the early points. And as we touched on, have certainly come out here at home with plenty of intent early on.
Yeah, they definitely have, Mitch, and it was a bit of a soft try there let in by the Helensburgh defence, but Berkeley, they looked good in that first set, throwing the ball left to right, and we go back to round one and Berkeley defeating Corrimal. They were super impressive that day. I know Corrimal lost their halfback early in the game, but Berkeley, they really put on the front foot and took advantage of that. And, you know, for Berkeley to be leading the competition after round three, it's not often we see a Berkeley side in first grade leading a competition with the likes of Collies and West. You know, they're usually your top two teams predominantly, but it's good to see Berkeley up the top of the ladder and playing good football. And if they can link up their halves today, Ben White and Ali Alouche, I think they're going to be the massive keys to really steer this Berkeley team around the paddock.
Yeah, certainly took the words right out of my mouth there, Johnny. They look very impressive this 7-6 already. I spoke with Ben White through the week, obviously come over from England. Does have a Super League game with Leeds Rhinos to his credit. Has spent the last 3 years playing with Swinton in the championship competition. Also left out the fact that he's played for the German national team. Didn't touch on that through the week. But certainly looking at the Bar TV replay of that one, certainly giving them some strike in the halves and some much needed direction is probably something for all their effort in recent years the Eagles have lacked, and certainly paying some dividends there early on.
It'd be a massive boost for Aaron McDonald and his men to get a genuine number 7, just a leader of the pack to steer this team around the paddock this season. And after watching them against Corrimal and the early moments of this game, we can see that Berkeley are going to be dominant, and with their number 7 fitting on the paddock, they're going to be a force this year.
As we see now, Russell at dummy half again. That's Matt Waugh playing the ball there onto Tim Moore. Really steaming onto that one as well. Met in the tackle there of Smith and McCallum, the old firm there for the Tigers. Short side again to White. Jake Eccleston here, fends away from one. He looked for the pass there. There'll probably be 6 to go. It will be. And Leah Fowl held in right in front of our commentary position here. 5 in from touch. Eccleston on to White. That's Brown now taking it up over halfway. Played again to Russell. Pokes his head through the other side. White, second man for Alishay. They go to that side again. This is something. This is Waugh now down the blind side, finding some space as well. So some early testers there for the right-hand side defence of the Tigers. And the Eagles with their tails up. This is Tubbs. Still going Tubbs. He's gone straight through the middle there. Quick play the ball as well. They go left to Alishay. Numbers if they go there. They have. And Harrigan's put that down over there. A try over there has absolutely gone begging. And dodging a bullet there, the Tigers. They have looked a little bit flat coming out of this one. Berkeley quite the opposite. And they're over on that side again. Alishay certainly finding some joy on that side early on, Johnny.
Definitely. I think they've done their homework here, Mitch, on this Helensburgh defence. They seem to be peppering that left-hand side and really targeting that right-hand defensive side of Helensburgh. So let's look to them to find a little bit more joy out there. But after that action down on that left-hand fringe for Berkeley, I think the message has gone out from Helensburgh to just really up the defence on that right-hand side.
As this is Peachy now 20 metres out from his own line. It's been the story of the afternoon so far for the Tigers, doing most of their work at their own end, as that's a good run there from McCallum. Still going forward, and that's a carry they needed. Smith now at dummy half. Pokes his head out the other side, so a couple of the veterans just getting their side on the front foot here. Willis at dummy half. As Coleman now takes it up to the 40. He'll play it there to Smith. They come to Willis. He's got McCallum on his outside. Not a bad little kick there from Willis if it holds up for him there. Waugh going back to fetch it. He'll have to play at it. He might have gone into touch. He has. Well, there you go. Johnny had been looking a little bit flat, and it was the veteran Steve McCallum. That great carry really got them on the front foot in that set, and a good kick on the end of it. And all of a sudden, we've seen Jake Harrigan at the other end there put a try down, and now it's Helensburgh with the pressure.
Would have been a bit of a confidence booster there for the Berg, and Big Tower with that strong run. Like, he just keeps coming back year in, year out and just putting in for this Helensburgh side, and a massive opportunity here for Helensburgh, but great kick there from Corey Willis, and they'll get the drop out here back into the Helensburgh arms, and opportunity here for the Berg to strike back.
It's Bremner fields that one. Tigers now edging their way forward. First real test of the afternoon for the Berkeley defence. Smith at dummy half onto Taroa. Second man there for Willis and a flat ball for McCallum. So some enterprising attack there from the Tigers themselves now. Smith out of dummy half onto Taroa. Gets the offload away to Smith and put that one down there. So Berkeley there, they passed the first test. Bit of a limp end of that set there from the Tigers, Johnny, but certainly showing some promise.
Definitely. I was about to get on air then and give a massive rap to Grant Smith. When I looked at the program this week, I seen him wearing the number 6, and I thought, well, it's a bit of a hole left there, him not wearing the 9 on his back. But we see him with the 6. He is playing dummy half, and it just gives that X factor for the Berg with Grant Smith in at dummy half.
Interesting one for me, Johnny. I'm enjoying watching some of the highlights. Zahn Taroa there in the middle of the park. We've seen him for so many seasons be an absolute spark plug on the flank. Seen him do some incredible things to finish off some tries. We see Eccleston now edging towards the try line, but he's got the 13 on his back and he's playing in the middle, so a bit of out-of-the-box thinking there from new Tigers coach Gavin Lennon, and the way Taroa has been playing, it's probably a move that's paid off thus far as White takes it up. He's 30 metres out from his own line. Russell there onto Alashay, finds Tubbs. Had Westman in support, but he'll take this one to ground. This is Westman now, met in the tackle there of Taroa. Plays the ball there to Russell. Tubbs again. Finds his front row partner in Tim Moore. Josh Brown backing his way over halfway there. Russell out of dummy half. It's a handy little kick there. Bremner will go back to field that one. Deflects that off his chest and brings the ball back. And Johnny, another very good set there from Berkeley. Got through their set and a very good kick on the end of it, putting the pressure on with their defence. And
a great kick chase. They've got Helensburgh just jammed up in their own 20-metre zone. A bit of work for the Berg to get out of their own area, but the Berkeley at the moment, the only mistake they've made, Mitch, is that bomb try, we could say, on that left-hand side a couple of minutes ago.
Certainly winning the energy battle at this point at the host. Tigers again coming out of their own end. That's a good run there from Tim Davies. Smith now out of dummy half. He'll kick as well. It's found over War's head, so a good kick there. So both the dummy halves there showing their all-round skill set, and Smith leads the chase as well. And now some real quality coming into this game, Johnny. Both sides really going set for set and putting some polish on the end of their sets.
Yeah, they're taking a few sets to settle in, but both sides now just starting to play a bit of mistake-free football. I'd really like to see Helensburgh just lift in that defensive line. Just their line speed looks a little bit tad off at the moment. But early days in this game, Mitch, and it is only round 3.
Eccleston edging his way up towards the 40. Blindside there. Just short of halfway now, the Eagles. Russell out of dummy half onto Fanuku. That's a good carry up on the Tigers 40 now. Right now to White on the last. He'll kick that one down there looking for touch. So another good settler there. So again, as you said, Johnny, very disciplined performance in the early part of this one from the Eagles, getting through their sets and putting some good kicks on the end of it.
They did a fair bit of this in round 1, Mitch, against Corrimal. They really peppered the short side, and they attacked the short side a lot during that game against Corrimal. And we've seen that again in this game against the Berg. Their halves just seem to be playing both sides of the ruck, and really on those last few tackles, they are really peppering that short side. So Helensburgh, if they're going to switch onto that, they were very successful against Corrimal in attacking that short side in round 1.
Obviously, with the halves we've mentioned do have a genuine 2-pass shift in them as well, so edge to edge. Certainly asking plenty of questions of the Tigers' defence. This is Peachy. He's on his own 20. This is Davies now, and he's collected a little bit high there, I think. It was Alashea trying to get a shot there on the back rower, so perhaps a well-needed penalty there for the Tigers. They've just been doing it a bit tough out of their own end as Arahu finds touch with that one. Smith, and that, tell you what, from a tap there, that one looked a little bit line ball. But it is play on Smith now, onto Coleman. He's got Taroa in support. He's still edging his way forward. 25 metres out here, the Tigers. Willis, flat ball there for McCallum. Well tackled down low there by Fanuku. Tubbs also involved. Taroa off his left foot. Still wrestling him to the ground there. He'll play it 10 metres out dead in front of the post. They go right now. This is Kyle Green over on that side. Still wrestling with the defence. They can't put him to ground. He'll play the ball from his feet. Arahu, the shift now to Willis. Nice little grubber there from Willis. And well collected there by Leofau as well. And he's ducked under a tackle. And he's made his way back in to the field of play. So some great work there from the Eagles. Winger had to really scoop that up. It was a bouncing ball. And made his way back into the field of play. So some great efforts there from the back five from the Eagles early on. They're really putting themselves in the thick of the action. That's Westman there. Still 20 metres out from his line. Brown. The offload there for Russell. White with some space. He's got Eccleston with some room to move. Goes back inside. Some slick footwork there now. It's White with some space. So some enterprising attack there from their own end. White might have been collected a bit high there as well. So when you do work there with the momentum, things do start happening for you. And I think as we just heard there, Johnny, Tigers coach Gavin Lennon not happy with what he's seeing from his side at the moment.
No, it wouldn't be either, Mitch. They're a better side, the Berg, than what they have been producing out here early in this first half. But Berkeley, they're not scared to throw this ball around, are they, Mitch? And that little deft kick earlier on by Corey Willis. So he's had two good kicks so far in this game. And Berkeley back on the attack in Helensburgh's area.
Been a real feature of both sides' play so far this afternoon. They're really putting some good kicks on the end of their sets. We've seen some great stuff off the boot from both sides. Fanuku now off his left foot, a good run there. He's got the arm free. He's looking for support. Just went to sleep on that play a little bit there, the Eagles. He had the arm free as Russell comes out from dummy half. Second man for White. He's going to dummy and go himself. Got very close there. They drag him down a metre out. Alashea over on that edge, the long ball, and that'll go into touch. So promising raid there from the Eagles comes to naught. When you've got halves willing to run the ball hard at the line like that, you're certainly going to ask some questions of the defence, Johnny. Yeah,
it's a massive big plus of Ben White's football game is his ability just to go to that line and put a second guess in the defensive line. You don't know opposite him whether he's going to pass, run, step, kick. It's a massive bonus for Berkeley, and we see him again, Mitch, attacking that right-hand fringe of the Helensburgh defence.
He's got the 6 on his back, but he's built more like a back rower, really, so we'll have to see him tuck the ball. Won't be the last time we see him tuck the ball under, I think. The Tigers coming out of their own end. Again, it's been the old familiar story so far. That's Mutu Stanley. Bringing out a good run there. James Dine over on that side. Just caught the defence a little bit asleep there from the Eagles. Davies, he takes it up towards halfway. Slow play the ball there from Davies, so the momentum hard to come by just at this time for the Tigers. A nice little offload there from Bremner, though, as we say that. Taroa into space. He'll play it, he's 20 metres out. They go blindside. Green, he holds that one up there for Stanley. Stanley still edging his way towards the try line, dragged down a metre out. Blindside there from Smith. Ball bouncing around there. It looks like it's fallen into the arms there of the Eagles, and an offside penalty there. So we're just giving both sides a wrap for the last tackle plays, Johnny, but that one, probably one the Warrior Grant Smith would like to have over again. Yeah, definitely. We looked out the back then, and Wayne Bremner, he was screaming for the ball. There was space out wide on that left-hand side, attacking side for Helensburgh, but
Brem out of dummy half. You just know when he goes to dummy half, Mitch, something's going to happen. There's going to be a bit of magic happen, and he give that flick ball to Azan Taroa, and hasn't he got some speed to burn?
Yeah, he does. I'll tell you what, he'll ask some questions of the big men up front with his footwork. Just the way they've gone this afternoon. Brown now taking it up towards the 40. Heavily involved early on. Brown, been super impressed with what he's done there in the middle. Russell now, and Smith out of the line for the shot there on Moore. Trying to lift his side. And it's Brown again. He'll be made to play it there on halfway. But a bit more of that line speed you did speak about there, Johnny, from Smith. They come right to White. Flat ball there for Eccleston on the outside of Peachy. That's already been a great battle so far. He'll play it there to White. Or rather, White with the football now. This is Fanuku. Fanuku still edging his way forward. Really starting to suck some juice out of the Tigers' defence, the Eagles now. White will go high with this one. It's a tester for Dine over on that side. Alashay giving chase. And it is well taken there in the in-goal. So Benny White perhaps just overshooting on that one a little bit. And a relieving one there for the Tigers. Bit of guesswork for the 20-metre line as we see. There, the green paint, though. I think they've got a better indication out there on the field. Smith at dummy half. That's Kingham there. Into the action in the middle of the park. Smith on for Davies. Brings McCallum underneath. That's another good carry there from McCallum. Slower play the ball than he would have liked from it. Smith now flat ball to Arahu. Rahu's still going. So the big men from the Tigers just starting to get a little bit of momentum here. Smith at dummy half onto Willis. Flat ball there for Davies. He'll be made to play at 25 metres out in front of the post. They go right to Willis. This is Green. He'll be made to play it over there, 10 metres out, 15 metres in from touch. Willis now taking it right to the line, and the long ball there for Peachy. And they just got away from him a little bit there. And doing not a bad job coming out of their own end, but polishing their attack in good ball, just eluding the Tigers a little bit at the moment, Johnny.
Yeah, it was a good set of six there for the Berg, just bringing it out from that 20-metre tap, and I think that's a play that Corey Willis will want over again. We've seen him put two really good kicks in on the tail end of their set of six, but that pass was it was a shocker. So they're really going to have to muscle up here and really shut down this Berkeley defence.
Leofau in off the wing. That's another good carry. Russell now out from dummy half. He's got supporting dummies. He takes it up towards the 40. Plenty of bodies around the footy there from the Eagles. Not letting this Tigers defence sleep for a moment. White now. He'll kick that through. He's looking for the chase of Eccleston and Leofau over on this side. Kingham will watch that one go into touch. And Johnny, I think Berkeley coach Aaron McDonald will be pretty happy with that. Another good end to the set. Making the Tigers bring it out. They're really building pressure, playing that pressure game. It's a new trait from the Eagles. We haven't seen as much of it, particularly for a full 40, but certainly putting their shift in this afternoon.
Yeah, they're playing really good percentage football. They're just on that last tackle, finding the sideline. They're just grinding away, Berkeley, really turning the Helensburgh Tigers over, getting set in their defensive line and just hoping that Helensburgh make that mistake down in their own end, and they're going to really pounce on that if the Berg do make a mistake.
As Peachy now brings it away from the scrum. I guess the question becomes, Johnny, with all the dominance they have had in terms of field position and just the general flow of the game, if they do start to get frustrated if the points don't come on the back of it, looking very composed thus far, but would like to get at least one more 4-pointer, you think, for the dominance they've had early on. Yeah,
definitely, but I tend to feel that someone with Ben White's ability and just his experience within the game, I can see him really being that controlled head around that ruck and really just telling these Berkeley players to just bide their time. Eventually, we are going to crack this line again.
Helensburgh again doing it the hard way. This is Green up towards the 40. A good shot there. In defence, it was Alashay, the halfback, so certainly hitting and sticking over there. That's taken a deflection. This will be a tester for War at the back. But he reels that one in, and good tackle there from Smith.
What a warrior Grant Smith is. Just week in, week out, he just puts in 100%, and he's not getting any younger either, and G. Smith just leading these troops around out there.
Yes, of course, a former Paul McGregor medalist in a premiership winning year for the Tigers back in 2015. As that's Boss in from his left edge. They go to White. Brown just gave him a rap before, absolutely tireless. Josh Brown so far this afternoon, and he's got through the play the ball, so I haven't risked the commentator's curse there. Oh, great little kick there. Leofau's over in the corner. And just like that, the reward comes off the kick from White. Awful bounce there for Kingham over on this edge, but Leofau, we've given him a rap for the way he's coming out of his own end and doing his hard work in those yardage sets, and he gets a reward at the other end there with the try.
Well, he bagged a triple at Corrimal there in round one, so another one to the tally for him for season 2018, and just the Berkeley boys, they're really just peppering, aren't they? They're just slowly chipping away, and that one paid off for them. They've been patient in their attack, kicking to the sidelines. A bit of luck there from the kick, but they've taken it with two ends there, and another try. 4 tries for the season so far. So they're not shy of crossing the line this season, Berkeley.
Yeah, certainly with their tails up, White will attempt the conversion. Well, as it seems there, Johnny, I owe Matt Roberts an apology. I've been giving the wrong bloke a rap all the way through. The 13 out there is Matt Roberts. Been outstanding. So we'll get that right for the rest of the afternoon. Make sure in the 3-2-1, Roberts gets his points there. As White now attempting this conversion from the sideline.
You wouldn't want to put this one too high, Mitch. They're only stubby little goalposts here at Berkeley, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. He's long way from the post set here on this edge. But he moves in. He strikes that pretty well. And he's put it over from the sideline. So 12-0 the score. As the Tigers now look to get us back underway. Arahu on this side with the kickoff. He's got plenty of height on that one. Alashay fields that one. I believe that is the Josh Brown. Just come onto the park there in the 14. Roberts met solid tackle there from Smith. Russell at dummy half, a slow one there. Roberts, that shot underneath from Smith certainly left his mark on him. White now, long ball there for Eccleston. Some space over this side again, but Willis does well. White onto Fanuku. Fanuku still edging his way forward. I'll tell you what, he's got plenty of strength in those legs. Fanuku, a massive handful over here on this edge. White onto Alashay. Got Westman on his outside. Look to get the arm free, but he'll take it to ground. Alashay on the blind, and he puts the kick down there with Bremner going back to field. He want that to pull up, but it won't. And it rolls into the back fence, so we have wrapped him for their fifth tackle options there, Johnny, but Alashay just overcooking that one a little bit. And a bit of a let off there for the Tigers. They'll pinch it bonus 20 metres.
Yeah, and a 7 tackle set, and we see usually on the tail end of one of these 7 tackle sets that something does usually happen. It's a massive advantage to get that extra tackle in that set, and the Berg on their first tackle already at the 35 metre mark, Mitch, and hitting that short side, really chewing up the metres on the second tackle.
Smith now blind side, Dine over on that side. Playing the ball there to Smith. Mitch Bailey now taking it up there. 35 metres out the Tigers. Willis back underneath there for McCallum. Bumps away from one. Still edging his way forward. Plays it there to Smith. They come left to Willis. Arahu with the second man there for Bremner with some space. He's got space on the outside as well. Kingham going for the corner, and I think a huge effort there from War coming and saving the try there. It was a good little trick shot there from the Tigers. Bremner did very well to try to put his winger away, but the defence good enough on that occasion, and that's a real show of intent again, Johnny. The enthusiasm just brimming with that at the moment, the Eagles, and they get across there and deny the Tigers a try.
Massive defensive effort there from the Berkeley Eagles there, Mitch, and Bremner, he put his foot on the accelerator and went round. If he's had 6 weeks in the wilderness in South America on holidays, he has not lost any speed. He just left them standing still there, and we'll look for him throughout this game to really stamp his mark.
Got to wrap Matt War there. He came across, summed that up really well, was right in position. Saving a try like that's as good as scoring them. Eccleston away from the scrum. As he's been dumped there, the referee says play on. It looked a little bit awkward, but no harm done. Eccleston gets up. Eagles again making good progress out of their own half. Russell at dummy half. Alashea finds Westman. Westman actually part of Scotland's under-23 Commonwealth Championship 9 side earlier this year. Josh Honan now just shy of halfway. Russell at dummy half, on to Moore. He's got support, he finds Westman. Russell at dummy half, onto White. Got a lot of time to kick that one. It'll be a tester for Kingham on this edge again. He's got Leofau bearing down on him, and he pulled out of that one. I think he was worried about conceding a penalty, and perhaps wisely so. And again, the Tigers being made to bring it out of their own end. And that's a relieving one. Certainly got to give Berkeley a rap for their discipline, having given away penalties like that one. They've just crept up there. And Willis now finds touch with the kick, and a good one as well. You just sort of sense, Johnny, the Tigers really needed that one. Definitely.
I was about to say that, Mitch. They really needed that penalty just to give them a breather, get themselves out of their own area. They've been camped in their own area for so long in this game. So we see a couple of changes happening for Helensburgh. Steve McCallum coming to the bench, and he's been enormous for the Berg so far in this game, Mitch.
Oh, certainly some monstrous carries there from the veteran. Willis now taking that right to the line. Got a Rahu with him with the arm free, and Eccleston's reeled that one in, and he's going to go on the counter. Finds Russell. So again, that final pass just not quite finding its mark. Had some testing times over here on this edge, Eccleston and Leofau, but have been equal to it so far. This is War doing the hard stuff out of his own end. White at first receiver. That's Roberts now. They go back on the inside to Honan. Head of steam there. White dummies and goes again. Still wrestling his way through tackles. Slower play the ball than he would have liked, but Russell now goes back to Alashea. He puts that one high, Bremner underneath it. And he takes that without too much trouble and comes back on the counter. And a good kick chase again. And that's the other part that's gone with their performance so far. The Eagles, good kicks at the end of their sets, but the chase has been just as willing, Johnny.
It's been super impressive, Mitch. Their kick chase, their kicking game, the Berkeley Eagles, it's been 5 stars so far in this game, and it's what's really got them ahead on the scoreboard is just their kicks into Helensburgh area, their kick chases, and really putting pressure on the Helensburgh attack. I'd just like to see Helensburgh just take a step back and really just be patient, because they seem to be pushing that last pass a little bit too often so far in this game, Mitch.
This is a Rahu up towards halfway. I agree with you on that one, Johnny. Don't need to chase all 10 points at once here. Willis puts that kicked in there. He splits Harrigan and War there at the back. Harrigan reeling this one in. This is War. with a head of steam coming back to it. A great carry from War. He's broken away from his attack squad. Harrigan in support. Just not quite the afternoon Jake Harrigan to be wanting to have with their hands over on that side. It was another opportunity there that goes begging. Tell you what, if he got that, he had some open space in front of him, Johnny.
Yeah, he would have had some chasing and a bit of green grass in front of him, but I'm tipping Bremner would have run him down in that one there, Mitch. It would have been a good foot race we would have seen here at Berkeley. And Berg just been let off there. Just a push pass there from Berkeley early in the tackle count and a chance for Helensburgh to bounce back.
Dine in off the right wing. He'll play that one to Smith. Smith to Willis on this side. He's got a Rahu there again. Bremner looming up behind him, but he'll take it to ground. Smith onto Willis. Finds Coleman, a little tip on there to Taroa, and that one's gone forward. So another mistake with the footy. He just can't quite seem to click into gear with the ball in hand, Johnny.
No, they can't. It must be frustrating for the coach and the players below us here, Mitch. Just you could hear the sigh coming out of their voices once that pass went forward. But we'll go back one more play there, and we've seen Willis just put a flat ball onto the chest of Dan Aroa, but we've seen Wayne Bremer just hanging back, and last time that they went out that back play, that's when Bremer went round and tried to put Kingham down the sideline. So we'll look for that later on in the game. They keep hitting that flat runner, but I reckon very shortly they're going to go round the back to Bremer and we're going to see a bit of magic.
Left now, this is Shalom just come onto the field. Russell out from dummy half. As we just see a player down in back play, it looks like it's Taroa. Just copped a bit of a knock there in that tackle. Just pausing for a spell. It's been a pretty frenetic pace in this one, Johnny.
Yeah, haven't had much stop-start, have we? We usually, predominantly, we've seen a lot of penalties being blown at this level so far in this game. The referees really clamping down on those simple errors. But we've seen a pretty free-flowing game so far here today, Mitch, and it must be taking the gas out of both these sides out there, rather than be out there than me at the moment, because it looks like it is a frantic pace.
Yeah, I think you can put that down to the kicking games of both sides. We've touched on how good both sides have been on the last tackle, but they've been keeping the ball in play, so we haven't had a whole lot of stoppages, and both making each other come out of their own end the hard way. As Westman now, he's made a shift to the middle there. After that injury to Roberts, looked like a bit of a throat problem actually, so hoping he's okay. As we touched on, been having a fantastic first half to that point. White now underneath for Moore. Some numbers here on the short side. If they come, they have. Fanuku's got Eccleston in support. Still edging his way forward. We just said that before. He's built low to the ground, Fanuku, and he uses all that power as Russell now on the last. He's looking for White through the middle. And Taroa tries to make the tackle, but Eccleston now, it is the last tackle still. Leofau will make the tackle. And they are absolute coach killers late in the set. Penalties. White now onto Westman. Berkeley love to get another 4-pointer on the back of that one. Honan edging his way forward, still going Honan. Russell onto Alashay. Out the back for War, he goes off his left foot and spins, and I think he'll get a crossover there. He has. As we see, not quite pointing to the spot yet, but there it is. And the Eagles now, as we said, building all that pressure, Johnny, starting to get the rewards for their efforts on the scoreboard. And with not too much time to half-time, that's a real killer blow there from the Eagles, twisting the knife in this first half.
Oh, definitely, and we just see Coach Gav Lennon just walking away from the bench here. He'd be half blown up about that, Mitch. Moments till half-time break, and again, that right defensive edge of Helensburgh just leaking another try.
Yeah, I don't think he was too happy with that penalty, Gav Lennon. I didn't really have that good a view from our position here, but it looked like a bit of a collaring more than a swinging arm, but the arm went up. You've got to take your opportunities when they arise, and Berkeley did just that there.
Yeah, it was Mitch Bailey that gave away that penalty, and it was a little bit unlucky because it was a bit of hot potato football on the last from Berkeley, and he just got wrong-footed there, Mitch Bailey, and he had the arm out and just give the Berkeley player a little bit of a coat hang around the collar. Nothing too bad in it, but another penalty, another set of 6, and on the back end of a penalty, Berkeley extend their lead.
As a guy that spent some time in the front row in my day, Johnny, I feel your pain, Mitch Bailey. Nothing worse than those nippy little guys on the last tackle with a bit of a defensive 6s and 7s. You're just doing your best. You've got to stick your arm out there. And
especially late in the half.
As we said, it has been a very frenetic pace in this one as White will attempt this conversion. And the flags go up again, so White out to 16-0 here at half-time. In the shadows of it. The Tigers, I'll tell you what, they don't look in a hurry there to get this kickoff underway as we hear the siren blow, and very, very good first upset there from the host. They lead 16-0 at the break, and the way it's played out, Johnny, probably a pretty well-deserved lead.
Definitely, Mitch. They've been the better side so far on the scoreboard and on the paddock, the home side, the Berkeley Eagles, and I've just been super impressed. I was impressed with him in round 1. I'm impressed again in round 3. Ben White just really steering this Berkeley side around the paddock, and he's been a massive... He's predominantly the difference of these two sides, Mitch. He's just patience in his play, the direction he's given his forwards around the paddock, and Helensburgh, they're going to really have to look to being patient when they've got that ball in hand in this second half to really come back at this Berkeley side.
It is a very good start there. You do wonder if half-time may just slightly stunt their momentum. I'm sure Coach Aaron McDonald will be keen to get them into the sheds, get them refocused and come out to try and build on this lead. It has been the perennial struggle for the Eagles in recent seasons to push out that full 80 minutes, but if they can put out another good 40 there, they've certainly got their tails up and momentum their way in this second half. We will be back with all the second half action in just a little while.
They'll get some joy on the other side.
Yep. I don't know who they're really targeting. Really targeting. I don't know if they're
Sorry, I'll just move this over. Try and get some more. I don't know if it's if they would have done much more playing. I reckon it's just the way they're going.
Yeah. Looks like they've done their homework, but
I think just having the 7 and 6 on both sides, they're just going side to side.
you see sometimes they're playing a half each side, and they're just linking up and both on one side.
They haven't played in the middle too. Smart way to play. That's the thing. he really helped me. But then he, but I just think he, Daly just spotted him and jumped after him. Yeah, that's that one. Yeah. He just, they know when to run. He's 22 or something. He sort of passes them at the moment, passes them
Welcome back to Berkeley Sports Ground. It is the host. 16-0 up at half-time. You have to think, Johnny, a very impressive half and perhaps possibly the best 40 minutes they've put together since being readmitted into the first grade competition.
Yeah, they're going good, Mitch. They're just chipping away, and they're getting results at their end of sets. Would have been interesting to see what Coach Aaron McDonald did say to his Berkeley team in the sheds, tipping something along the lines of don't take the foot off the accelerator.
So we see Honan there. Big Tao McCallum there had him in his sights, but he dodges that one, Honan, and he pinches some good metres for his side there. Flat ball there for Moore. Edging his way forward. Sure, the message was to get back out here, get straight back into their rhythm and get to the kick in this first set. Eccleston with some space on that edge again. He crabs his way back infield. With the offload now to War. He's taking it up towards the 40. Interesting proposition for the Eagles. I don't know how much this group would have spent. As War staying down there, he looks like he's clutching at a shoulder or shoulder injury there. It'd be unfortunate if he does have to come from the paddock. He's certainly been one of the Eagles' best thus far.
It was enormous in that first half, Mitch, was Matt War, and off that first set of 6, Berkeley not afraid to throw the ball left to right, and they're starting off where they finished off in that first half.
We just see the thumbs up, so it might just have been a bit of a burner there. Looks like he's going to carry on, so good to see. But as I was saying, Johnny, an interesting proposition for the Eagles facing here. It wouldn't been a whole lot of times they've had this sort of buffer and had to be this composed to see a game out, so a new challenge for them. But the way they've started here in this first set, it looks like they haven't missed a beat just yet.
Yeah, and also massive for them that they are the competition leaders. I know it's only round 3, Mitch, but they see their name at the top of the competition ladder, and 2 points here will continue that lead.
As we see an offload there. It was from Tubbs and Tower. McCallum coming across and dragging Ben White down from behind. Tackle had to be made because Ben White had open space in front of him. The call is there, a Tigers knock on. There was a nice offload there from Tim Moore. Almost put Benny White away. But again, an effort play there from McCallum coming across to shut that gate. And really is just a few of those little effort plays, the only thing really keeping the Tigers in this one at the moment, Johnny.
Yeah, they're just scraping on and hanging on there by their fingertips, and good tackle there from Tower to really stop that play down. And Berkeley on the attack early here, Mitch.
Shalom. He's taking it up towards the 20-metre line. Russell out from dummy half. Second man on the inside there for Westman. Bounces away from one. Still backing his way forward. Russell at dummy half again. Second man for White. Long ball out there for Eccleston with some space. Peachy comes and makes the tackle. So that battle continues over on that edge as the pass on the bounce there for White, and Smith comes through and gives him a bit of a whack in the back for his trouble. Honan now is only 5 metres out. Second man again for White, Alushay. War, and the long ball there. Harrigan over here on this side gets pushed into touch there. But some space again on this edge. There's some questions again being asked over here. Mutu Stanley having a very tough time here on this edge. So see Jared Newey with the ball has come onto the park. Feeds that one. And it is Mutu Stanley bringing the ball back up towards the 20. Coleman. Good contact there. It was Josh Honan hitting and sticking there. A little trick shot there. Newey flat ball there for Kyle Green. Steams onto that one. I was going to say it looked a little bit line ball, and the call comes from the touchy, the forward pass there. Hard to really see from our position up here, Johnny, but fair to say they're disputing the call there, the Tigers.
Well, the touchy was on the spot there, Mitch. He was right in the line of play, and we are standing aloft of the Helensburgh bench, and they weren't too happy about the decision. But a little bit of an overrun there from the 12, Kyle Green. It was a solid hit up by Green, even though it was a forward pass, but it looks like Berkeley now back on the attack in Helensburgh zone, and if Helensburgh are going to come back into this game in this second half, they can't let errors like that creep into their game.
I was just about to say, yeah, he steamed onto that one, Kyle Green. The long ball now for White. Shalom. The tip on there for Eccleston. The offload for War. So some space over on that edge. Leofeld at dummy half. This is Shalom. Still edging his way towards the line. He'll play it 5 metres out. Leofeld at dummy half. On to White. Flat ball there for Westman. Westman's dragged down a metre out. O'Shea on this edge. Flat ball there. Eagles turning it on. Tigers under pressure. Flat ball there for O'Shea and a long ball there, and Jake Harrigan over on this edge, and just continues to be a very, very tough afternoon on this edge for Harrigan. Was another really good ball there from O'Shea. And a let off there for the Tigers.
We've seen James Dine there, Mitch. He just coming off his wing again and opened up the chance for Jake Harrigan to cross in that corner there, but just couldn't cross over the line. As we said, it's been a hard afternoon for Jake Harrigan out here on that left-hand wing. But again, the Berkeley Eagles peppering that right-hand defensive side of Helensburgh.
Smith now onto Rahu. Rahu up towards and over the 20-metre line. Smith now onto McCallum. It's another good carry from McCallum up towards the 40. Really putting his side on his back this afternoon is McCallum. Bremner now from dummy half. Breaking away from some tackles. Tries to get away from Eccleston there, but Eccleston comes again and makes the tackle. Smith out from dummy half. Flat ball there for Willis. Another flat one there to McCallum. Willis finds a Rahu over on that edge. So just looking for someone to lift them at the moment, the Tigers. Smith onto Willis. He'll put this one high. It's a spiral. One will be a tough takeover here for Harrigan, and he reels that one in. And after spilling a few at the other end, you sense a bit of relief there when he reeled that one in, Johnny.
Yeah, he would have had the heart in the mouth there, Mitch, and he hasn't had the best day trying to finish off on the tail end of some sets of six there, attempting to score tries, young Harrigan, but there again he was up for the task and took that ball cleanly, and it was a spiralling bomb. It could have gone anywhere, but well taken by Jake Harrigan at the back.
Eccleston now up towards his own 40. Russell onto Shalom. Good shot there from Grant Smith. He comes away from him, but he was a bit one out there, Smith. The rest of his side hadn't come up with him, and now the offload. White crabbing his way across field, and Eccleston straight into space. Bremner's coming across in cover. He's got plenty of support with O'Shea, and he's going to run away and score. Geez, he flew a bit close to the wind there on the put down, but he's put it down. And Benny White over on that edge. We've said Eccleston over on that side looked dangerous all afternoon. He burst into the clear there, and as has been the case all afternoon, Johnny, the support jumpers just loomed up. Blue jumpers everywhere, and O'Shea gets the reward.
He could have fit a bus through that gap out there then, Mitch, and it was a good ball there from the number 6, Ben White, putting Eccleston in a gaping hole, and just finished off nicely there by the number 7, Ali Alouche. And the Berg just leaked another try, this time not over the right-hand side, so a bit of problem both sides of the defensive line, Helensburgh, in this second half, and Coach Gav Lemon, who will be bumping about that try being scored by the Berkeley Eagles. And Mitch, we talked about off-air over the break about how much a game can change at half-time and which team benefits from the break. And Berkeley haven't looked like they have got any non-benefit from that break. They are really come out in this second half where they left off in the first.
Yeah, certainly haven't missed a beat. We saw there Grant Smith from the Tigers really come up out of the line, put a good shot there on Shalom with the footy, but just been a bit of the story of the afternoon, a bit one out there. Smith coming up and making the tackle, didn't have a lot of orange jumpers around him, and it's been a bit the same when they've had the footy, some good carries and some good efforts, but mostly solo efforts so far. We've seen all afternoon Berkeley, every time the ball carrier's taken it to the line, he's had jumpers inside and out in support. And a perfect illustration of that right there, as that one's waved away, so the score will remain 20-0. Thought Benny White was going to make light work of that one, given the way he knocked one over from the sideline earlier. We'll give him that one. It's been a pretty faultless display so far.
Must have been the sun glaring off those bright white boots, Mitch, that got in his eyes there to miss that kick, but probably an easier kick for Benny White for this evening, and he just put that one across the face of the uprights, and Helensburgh back to that familiar task of kicking back off to Berkeley, Mitch.
It's been the story of the afternoon. It'll be Willis to get us back underway. Puts that one down long. It's Lachey. Just takes that one off the toe, bouncing around, but he reels it back in, the try scorer. Plenty of numbers in that tackle from the Tigers, so perhaps just sensing this one getting away from the little bit as Honan bashes his way forward. He's met there in the tackle of Smith and McCallum. Davies also involved. They go to White, onto Westman, and that ball just goes behind there. Eccleston going back to field it. And they'll call it a knock on. So the first real hiccup there of the afternoon almost, Johnny, for Berkeley. Wanted to get a good set on the back of points and haven't done it just there. So the Tigers with a chance to hit back. And have to think they're going to need to do it quickly, Johnny, if they're going to reel in a 20-point margin. Yeah,
good opportunity here for the Berg, Mitch, and I'd just like to see them be a bit patient off this set of six. Don't try and score off the first or second tackle. Really lay the foundation and maybe look to those last few tackles of the set to really cross over this line. As we see, number 19, Jesse Cobb, on for Helensburgh. He had a big game in reserve grade here earlier on, and that man with the ball in hand at the moment.
It is Cobb. He takes it up to the 20. Smith at dummy half again. They go left to Davies. Some numbers to the Tigers left if they go there. Slower play the ball than they would have liked, but they come right. Coleman's got support. Bashing his way forward, so he's only a metre out. The Tigers looking to mount something and land that hit back. Flat ball there for McCallum. He spins. And an effort there from Shalom it was, holding him up there. And just indicative of the way that the Eagles have played all afternoon, Johnny. Bodies all around that footy. Denies McCallum the try.
It's good desperation football there from the Berkeley Eagles, Mitch, and that big man there, McCallum, just couldn't get that ball over the lines. We see Helensburgh on the attack with a big shift play out to the left.
Back on the inside there for Cobb. That ball comes out the back. He'll be made to play that one. As they look to keep the Tigers out here. As much as we've seen them in attack, some try-saving plays, which are in a lot of cases even more valuable, as Newey puts that one on the boot. Harrigan goes back to field it, look to make his way back into the field of play. The numbers come, but he's done just that, Harrigan, so a great effort. He backs up the work of his teammates in denying McCallum the try. Now it's War coming over towards this sideline. And now the touchies come in with the flag. Just a little bit of argy-bargy there. Going over on this edge, and the touchy. Something seen by the touchy, because I saw the flag go up.
Went up pretty quick, that flag then, Mitch, didn't it? I'm not sure exactly what just happened, but...
Well, certainly before anyone had gone near the sideline. But again, just to touch on, Steve McCallum looks certain to score that one. He came on it with a head of steam. He spun and just those blue and yellow jerseys, they just kept showing up, Johnny.
He could have scored from 10 metres out. He's got arms as big as the goalpost, but Shalom was a massive effort by him and also number 12, Luke Westman, getting underneath Big Tower and stopping that try. And I'll give a massive rap to Matty Waugh and Jake Harrigan at the back. Harrigan was enormous in getting that ball back off that kick that the number 1 for Helensburgh, Jared Newey, put through.
Tell you what, hasn't Westman been impressive since shifting in to the middle part of the field? Started the game on the edge. Just had to do a tough job in the middle, and he's really lapped that work up. Hasn't had a spell either, so obviously pretty good nick.
He's thriving out there, isn't he, Mitch? And we talked about earlier on, it was a very frantic pace first half, and that pace hasn't dropped off here in the second as we see one of the Berg players put on report. We'll just get confirmation of what that penalty is.
Looks like it was a lashing out with the boot, seems to be the signal. As Russell puts that one into touch. As Shalom, the try saver, we can call him in that instance. Good shot there from Green. Dumps him on his back. He's been tangled up there. Shalom desperately trying to play that one. Honan now. Also been another industrious player off the bench for the Eagles, Honan, as they come blindside. And Dyed come out there and let one go. I think he was a bit keen to make up for that one. As we see the Helensburgh bench blowing up deluxe at that one. As they're starting to go back-to-back with the penalties here. As Russell puts that one into touch. It was one of those 50-50 ones. A few of the Tigers players here, it seems, just trying to pull off a shot or just something to lift their side back into this one, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely, and it was a bit of a cry from the Helensburgh supporters of disbelief there on that penalty, and we usually hear some great one-liners up at Rex Jackson Oval from the Helensburgh faithful, but they've brought those great one-liners down to Berkeley Sports today, Mitch, and they're looking
to see White. He's got the offload there for Fanuku. Just on that, Johnny, the Berkeley faithful doing their bit in that department as well. We see a stoppage.
You were right in what you said just before, Mitch. I think the Berg, they're just looking for that one player to make that game changer, that big hit, that big run, just something. They're looking for someone to really stand up and take control, and hopefully the rest will follow. Yeah,
certainly the body language not good out there at present. Lots of hands on hips and some players hunched over, so it's going to have to be a big play to lift them here. And just the Eagles got that sense of blood in the water.
A lot of different body language image, and we're calling this game from a loft of both the benches, either the Berkeley bench to the right, the Helensburgh bench to the left, and just the body language of the Berkeley, the coach laughing, nice and relaxed, and we're looking down here at the Helensburgh players, and it's not much joy hanging from this bench, so a lot of work to do for not only for this game, for Helensburgh, but for the rest of the season. If this is what they've got to put out, they've got to go back to Rex Jackson Oval and really have a good look and a good think of where their season is heading, even though it's only round 3.
Yeah, it's sort of been that way from the outset as well. As White, the long ball there for Waugh, shrugs away from one tackle. Good tackle there from Cobb. Had to be made too. Bremner also involved, and straight from dummy half. I think it was Leofau over on that side. He's already bagged one try this afternoon. As you said, Johnny picked up a hat-trick against the Cougars in round 1.
How good's that right side for Berkeley?
Oh, this afternoon been outstanding, just asking so many questions of the Tigers' defence there, and that's certainly not the best kick of the afternoon from Ben White. Again, we could probably give him a pass on that one. He's been very good in that area for most of this one. So the Tigers doing it tough out of their own end again. That's Peachy out from dummy half. Coleman. That's not a bad run from Coleman up towards the 40, but the contact really big there. It was Tim Moore. Just saw his opposite number there and really looked to shorten him up. Smith out of dummy half. Made to play it. McCallum. Certainly can't fault McCallum's effort this afternoon. We talk about the Tigers looking a little bit flat at times. Certainly can't say that about the veteran. As that ball hits the deck and Berkeley now really mounting pressure without the footy, Johnny.
Yeah, I'll just go back 2 plays there, Mitch, and we've seen Grant Smith just jump out of dummy half there. Usually you can really split those 2 markers, but massive credit to the A and B defenders there just behind the ruck there. They really sniffed out what Grant Smith was about to happen and really shut down what a massive bit of Grant Smith's game is just scooting out dummy half, and he hasn't had much of that opportunity today. The Berkeley Eagles really doing their homework on this Helensburgh side.
So we just see some changes being made. Lachlan Russell just coming to the sideline. If he hasn't been the Eagles' best this afternoon, Lachlan Russell, he was certainly in the conversation. Been outstanding in the number 9.
He's done a massive job, Lachlan Russell, at that 9, Mitch. I mean, we've been given massive raps to the 6 and 7 from Berkeley, but what he's been doing just out of dummy half and really getting nice early ball to the 6 and 7 for Berkeley and really creating so much space and time for both Ali Alouche and Ben White.
Yeah, I don't think we see him take a wrong option.
Nah.
In that entire stint he had there on the paddock. This looks Matt Boss has gone on the field there in the 3. White over for Eccleston. Cobb making that tackle. Eccleston again was looking dangerous. And a penalty now to the Eagles. They just linger a little bit too long in that tackle, so certainly sets some frustration coming into the Tigers game now, Johnny.
Yeah, and usually when we see a bit of frustration creep into someone's game of football, it usually ends up leaking points, Mitch, and let's just not hope for the Berg's sake that they do leak too much more points, but the Berkeley Eagles, you know, they've got a taste of blood and they want to just keep on laying the points down.
Fanuku will play it, he's 5 metres out. Another outstanding performer, Fanuku. I tell you what, across the paddock, Johnny, it'd be hard to pick the man of the match for the Eagles. They've just to a man been outstanding this afternoon.
You'd give 3 points to about 7 players out there today, Mitch.
White to the line again. Alouche back on the inside for Shalom, and big contact there with Kyle Green. And it's enough to stop him in his tracks. Alouche onto White. He's going with the kick over there, looking for Leofau. It'll be a contest up there, and Kingham's dropped that one forward. It's Willis scooping that one up, but I think it might have come off. I think that might have come off Joel Kingham over there on that side.
I think it might have been a Falcon as well. I think it was a little bit of a hit to the head there of Joel Kingham once he got a bit of hands to that ball, but another little error from Helensburgh, allowing Berkeley to get a fresh set of 6 tackles within their 20-metre line, Mitch. And how much more pressure can this Helensburgh Tigers defence cope with?
Yeah, they're certainly using every ounce of energy just to repel this constant raid now from the Eagles. The short side play there for Eccleston goes off his right foot and he'll come back through the forwards. Dumped on his back over there. White, flat ball there for Roberts, who looks like he's recovered from that throat injury. Good to see. As I said early on, he was outstanding in the early exchanges. He's a metre out. Boss on to Alouche. The long ball there for War. Some numbers here again, and War will cross in this edge again. So he will bag a double. And as you were saying, Johnny, something probably just had to give there.
Yeah, definitely, Mitch. And again, that Helensburgh defensive side on that right-hand side really being found out again. Another 4-pointer scored down that side. But just the sheer percentage of football that Berkeley have had in the last 10 minutes really just... It was always, in a way, it was going to happen sooner than later, Mitch. And Helensburgh, they did do a good job to hold them out for this long, but Berkeley foot on the accelerator, and they don't look like they're going to take it off.
No, not at all. You've really got to think about the confidence the Eagles can take out of this one. Back-to-back wins. It will be, and obviously coming off the bye, you did think after a really good first-up performance how that would play. Some side struggle to come out of the bye, but looks like Berkeley, from the kickoff this afternoon, really just came out with plenty of intent, as we said early on. They've really turned on a performance here certainly as good as they've played since being readmitted back into this competition. have to think it's right up there as the best win they've had in the past couple of seasons, Johnny.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure Coach Aaron McDonald, who will be wrapped in what he's seen, not only today but also in round one. And look, coming to the game today, Mitch, I really couldn't have had a winner. I thought after Helensburgh round one, they really stuck it to collegians. They went in half-time, levelled up. Collies went away with the game in the second half. Last week up at Rex Jackson Oval, Helensburgh beat Corrimal. I covered the kick from Benny White. And
he's knocked that one over, so the way it's been this afternoon, the tougher the conversion, the easier he does it.
Yeah, and look, we go back
a couple from the sideline.
We go back to round one, Berkeley and Corrimal. Berkeley was super impressive. They've got the 2 points there. They've had the week off last week, so look, I couldn't have split a winner coming down here today just thinking about the two teams, but we've seen a massive, just a dominant display from Berkeley in this round 3 clash, and Berkeley will have their names on the top of the competition ladder for another week, Mitch.
Yeah, are we allowed to call Benny White the best German player of all time yet? He's, as we touched on at the top of the call, a German international.
With a name like Ben White?
As we say, I think that's War, the try scorer, bringing that ball forward. Plays that one there to Boss. Second man for White. Roberts, a tip on there for Honan, and that was a really little slick exchange of passing. So brimming with confidence at the moment, the Eagles. Bashing their way forward, and it's all the Tigers can do at the moment to stem the bleeding. Simmons now up towards the 40. They come shape blindside, go open as Tubbs now bashing his way forward as well. Boss at dummy half. Long ball there for White. White again onto Fanuku. Fanuku still breaking away from tackles. We see Eccleston, the flick pass back on the inside for Leofau. Already got a try this afternoon. He's looking to add to it. White to the line. Alashay back on the inside there for Roberts. He breaks away from one. Just short of the try line there. And that is the last tackle, so it will be a change over. I tell you what, he's deserved a try in his efforts this afternoon.
He's been your man this game, hasn't he? The number 13 for Berkeley.
Well, I've got to give him a bit of a rap because I was calling him the wrong name for the entire first half, so
but
got to make up for it when I can.
What confidence that Berkeley side have just got in them at the moment to run that ball on the last tackle, and it nearly paid off for them with the 13 just trying to inches away from putting the ball down underneath that black dot.
Slow going again out of their own end here for the Tigers. Peachy just juggled that one a little bit but reels it in. 30 metres out from his own line. Willis now on to Davies. As we see Eagles coach Aaron McDonald there trying to keep that intensity going to the full-time side, and he doesn't want them to take their foot off the pedal. As Leofau now brings the ball back on the return. 3 Tigers involved in that tackle. They'll make him play it just past his own 20. As we see White Alashay still barking instructions, so not happy with what they've got on the board just yet, the Eagles. They're eyeing some more points. Roberts takes it up towards halfway. As they come left to Alashay again. Shalom off his left foot. Kyle Green. Good contact there. Blindside again from Boss. Alashay down there. He's got support. He'll put the kick in. Bremner going back to field that one. Picks it up. I tell you what, it was a tough bouncing ball. He made that look easy there, Brem. And now some expansive play from inside their own end. This is Kingham. He's got Cobb on his outside. Tackled well over there by Leofau. He's been faultless on that flank for the Eagles. Cobb taking it up towards the 40. And the defence driving him backwards. So the pack mentality continues from the Eagles. Bailey up towards the 40. Dining off the wing. He takes it up over halfway. Will be made to play it. Willis to the line. Davies underneath. He's over the 40 last tackle. Short side to Willis. He'll put a little chip in there for Leofau, and he reels that one in with ease. So his mistake-free afternoon continues. War now out from his own end. White in at dummy half. Second man there. That's Alan Newton just come onto the paddock. Ross again onto Shalom, off his right foot. Smith onto Tubbs. He goes off his right foot, the big fella. Edging his way up towards halfway. And he makes it all the way there. Lined out left and right. Roberts with a head of steam. He's up to the 40. Still can't get him to ground. They eventually do. Peachy in to make that tackle. They go right to White. The long ball there for Eccleston. And that one's gone without it. So now it's Kingham on the counter. Now he's dropped the ball as well. So a bit of a comedy of errors there over on that side. But yeah, no shortage of effort again on that one from the Eagles.
Looked like a line ball there from Ben White that he threw, Mitch. But ended up hitting the deck, and we see Helensburgh just on the attack there, but Kingham just couldn't pick that ball up and run away with it. And
I think as this one draws towards the finish, Eagles coach Aaron McDonald would love to keep the Tigers to zip here. Will take just as much pride in that as he would in the points. There's a scummy. Almost had one there. Thought we were going to have one against the feed there, Johnny, but we don't see a lot of that these days, but White will get a do-over. On to War. Tucks it under. He's gone straight through War. He's got support again. Bremner coming across. He gets away from him, but Bremner comes again and makes the tackle. Mutu Stanley also in cover, and he spilt the ball at the end there. But again, another raid that looked pretty promising. I think he's eyeing a hat-trick over here on this edge, Matt War.
we talk about players that can get the 3 points today, Mitch, and his name will be up the top of the list there somewhere, and he's been enormous. He was named to play on the wing today, but he swapped spots with Jake Harrigan. He hasn't looked out of place moving into that fullback role, and Jake Harrigan pushing out onto the wing. So another option there for season 2018 that Aaron McDonald has at his disposal there, of these two players be able to alternate positions.
Yeah, I don't envy the man who's doing the 3-2-1 this afternoon. There's no shortage of contenders. As Bailey now pinching a couple of extra metres there. McCallum. Don't have to look far to find the pick for the Tigers. Certainly been Big Towel McCallum as Smith wrestling there with Shalom. He comes again and puts him to ground. As we see Smithy there, he's just leaving the referee, and I was going to say, he's just bit off a bit more he could chew there with the verbal. Spray again, and now we'll cop another 10, and I think that's a sign of the frustration that just crept in there for the Tigers. No more dogged competitor than Grant Smith, but frustration just getting the better of him there. And it's just about being that type of day for the Tigers, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely, and to an extent we can't really blame there Grant Smith. He's played with his heart on his chest today, hasn't he, Mitch? He does week in, week out, just puts in 110%, and he's single-handedly been so impressive in that middle for Helensburgh today. So an early shout for Grant Smith.
And Berkeley looking to add to their tally. Already a handy one. Tubbs now back on the inside. The big fella got a sniff of the try line. He's almost there. Some numbers on this edge again. They go that way. Flat ball there for Shalom. He'll be tackled there by Stanley, and they'll call that one forward.
Hasn't Shalom been impressive since he's come off the bench, Mitch? He's been
Certainly
enormous.
Plenty of aggression in his game. I like it.
I've liked the matchup. He's had a couple of good contacts there with Kyle Green. Him and Kyle Green, I think they picked each other out pre-match and said, "Your mine, mine, yours. Who's going to win this battle?" It's been pretty even.
They owe each other some money over on this edge.
As we see, I think the last couple of minutes here just starting to wind down. The sun's going down at Berkeley. And the Berkeley Eagles, back to the club tonight, and they'll be cheering with a few stubbies, I'm tipping.
The fans are making some noise, deservedly so. Been a very, very hardy bunch The Eagles has been a tough couple of seasons since coming back into the competition in a rebuilding phase, but they look anything but, aside rebuilding here this afternoon, they look a finals contender, Johnny.
Oh, definitely. We speak about, the big four clubs and everything like that, and, we've talked off air and during games, who's our top four, who's our top five. But Berkeley, they are knocking on the door after the display they've put on today. Have really been a contender in this competition. And, as you said, they haven't had much to cheer about the last few seasons, but Coach Aaron McDonald's got these players in a great space at the moment. Also, it's good to see the Berkeley supporters coming out to Berkeley Sports and really supporting their side and supporting them with a bit of joy.
Yeah, of course, the bigger test perhaps still to come. Corrimal in round one, and the Tigers here, probably a couple of sides that came into the season probably at the same sort of station. And of those sides, Berkeley certainly shot out of the gates and other competition leaders. I guess the proof in the pudding will come when they match the likes of Collegians, your Wests, your Rules, but certainly on what they've shown today, they're capable of playing that September footy. As Willis goes straight through, he's got support, he gets up and goes again, and again another last effort there to deny the try. It was War. And the Eagles, they don't want their line breached here. Have worked hard to keep the Tigers to 0 throughout this afternoon. And it looks like they're not about to let that change easily here. I think it's Matt War again. He's just gone down injured there. As he said, been outstanding this afternoon, but finding himself in the wars a little bit, pardon the pun, in this second half.
Yeah, we were just talking before, Mitch, about the sides and about whereabouts Berkeley sit on the ladder and everything, but, in this competition it's so close, and any 2 points that are on offer and they are taken as a massive bonus. So when you come up to the sides you think you're going to beat and you don't beat them, that's where it really hurts and is damaging in this competition. And Berkeley, they've played 2 games and 2 wins and they've taken their chances.
So see War coming from the field, Jake Harrigan getting back on the park to finish this one out. McCallum takes it up towards the post. We'll play it 5 metres out. Second bed for Willis, and that pass has gone clean over his head. Kyle Green going back to fetch this one, and he does. Alashay coming and making the tackle, and the Berkeley defence just swarming him with the ball again. Shalom, some of that aggression we've spoken about. And look at this, they're coming up off the line here with some line speed now, the Eagles. They're brimming with confidence here.
That was the matchup again, Green and Shalom there, Mitch.
But look at this, even as we draw to the end, the Eagles still coming up hard off their line. Bremner out of dummy half, kicking for himself there. Bit of a deviation there, Jake Harrigan going back to fetch that one, and he cleans it up. Westman in a dummy half. The Tigers pushing him in there, trying to get the football back. They won't. Westman plays it a metre from his own line. Shalom over here this edge. Kyle Green was looking for him again, so that battle continues on this edge. It's McCallum who comes again and makes that tackle, and some numbers here on this side. If they go there, the long ball could be on. Alashay chooses to hold on to that one. Kyle Green making the tackle. White flat ball for Roberts. He'll play it 30 metres out from his own line. White kicking over there, looking for Leofau, and he's going to reel that one in, and he's into some space again. He's got support in Eccleston. And Bremner comes away with this one. He's on the counter. White giving chase. Eccleston comes back again and makes the tackle. I think he's gone for a bit of a one-on-one strip there. Referee looking to his touchy for the call, and they'll say knock on there by Berkeley and trying to rake the ball out there, Eccleston.
Looks like the Berg, Mitch, they're just waiting for that full-time siren to go off now. I think they've nearly had enough here at Berkeley Sports today, and
it certainly hasn't been their afternoon.
No, definitely not. But Berkeley's still super hungry. We've seen in that last defensive set there, Berkeley just really trying to still outmuscle the Helensburgh Tigers.
See people hunting for those shots, as we said, just a little bit one out this afternoon, the Tigers. So easy pickings at times as Kingham now takes the ball up to the 30.
He's been busy, Kingham, hasn't he, Mitch? Was coming in and helping out his forwards.
Yes, McCallum there with the offload. So Tigers, they don't want to be held to zip here. They're going to try to get some points on the board. Willis over on the left edge. The long ball out there for Cobb. And Eccleston comes and makes the tackle. Leofau also involved. White as well. He'll be made to play it, a metre in from touch. Willis takes it to the line. Peachy. He's 8 metres out. Second man for Willis again. The long ball there for Green on this side. He dummies. Alashay making the tackle. Flat ball there for Coleman, and Luke Westman there was all over him. That'll be a change over, so still no joy in the attacking column there for the Tigers.
And the Berkeley Eagles, Mitch, up to the task, and they will be wanting to keep this Helensburgh Tigers team to zip, and they're really standing up to that task at the moment. It'll put a smile on Coach Aaron McDonald's face if they can hold him out. But Gav Lennon, he'd want a consolation try here, Mitch, and really, try and get a little bit more confidence back in this Helensburgh side to finish off this game. It's been a tough afternoon here at Berkeley Sports for the Helensburgh Tigers. As we see Berkeley on the attack, peppering that left-hand side. Shalom to Alush. Alush dummies and goes himself.
He's dragged down there by Mutu Stanley. 10 in from touch, just in front of our commentary position here. As we see Shalom out from dummy half. That man Kyle Green again. Like to think those two guys might share a beer afterwards, because it's been a hell of a battle. As we see Lucio there onto White. Dummies inside, shapes outside. He's got Eccleston with some space, and he's gone around Cobb there. Leofau coming back inside, juggles that one. Crabbing his way back into the field, trying to test out the big man. He's still going, had support in White, and White's just put that one down. Had some space in front of him, might just have looked up at the try line there momentarily.
It was a nice passage of play there from the Berkeley Eagles. Still not afraid to throw that ball around, and it's been a massive big thing of their game today, just shifting that ball left to right, playing with confidence. And every time they push a pass, Mitch, there just seems to be a blue and yellow jumper popping up inside to grab that ball.
So the Tigers will feed the scrum. Barely 3 minutes left on the clock here. As Bremner now coming away from the scrum. Kingham still edging his way forward. 35 metres out from his own line. Dine in a dummy half. Coleman steaming onto this one, but the Eagles defence still sensing some blood in the water. Tigers still going forward here. Willis at first receiver. Flat ball there for Peachy. Willis a spin, and he's found some space there. Over to Kingham on that edge. Makes his way back infield. Made the play at a metre in from touch. 20 metres out from the line. Willis shapes the kick and dummies. He's gone through. Willis off his right foot, and I think he's going to get there. He will. So a consolation try does come. Does come for the Tigers. He sets a little bit of disappointment there, and the Eagles would have really loved to keep him to a duck there, but Willis there, he shaped the kick, and he did it all himself, and a very good try in the end there from Willis, who, got to say, hasn't stopped trying throughout this 80 minutes, no matter what the scoreboard has indicated.
That was a great solo try, Mitch, and it was the last tackle there, and the defence just really rushed up on Willis, and he shaped the kick, stepped off his right, and just found a passage straight through the Berkeley defence and scored just on the left of that upright.
It wasn't through lack of effort. It was probably a bit of over-exuberance as late as we are in this game that opened the door there for Willis.
Yeah, they're still hungry, the Berkeley defence, and they're just trying to get up and shut down Willis. But he was a little bit too smart and a bit switched on for the Berkeley defence. And once Willis put that ball down, Mitch, I had a glance over to Coach Aaron McDonald. There wasn't much movement there. As we spoke about, I'm sure he would have loved to have seen the big golden duck egg next to the Helensburgh Tigers score sheet at the end of the game. Not to be. Gavin Lennon's men
down here.
Gavin Lennon's men cross to put some points on the board.
As Willis puts that one over, so 26-6 the score. As we approach full time here. It is huge, back-to-back wins for the first time since re-entering the competition. Probably as as good a 2 performances they've started this campaign with, as we've seen from them in what's now their 3rd season under Aaron McDonald. There's Berkeley in no rush to get this one underway, and Tigers don't look too keen to reel this one in either.
Couple of Berkeley passionate supporters here behind us there, Mitch, and really stoked with what they're seeing out there from their Berkeley team. And I tend to think we'll see a lot more of that in 2018, of the Berkeley supporters coming out of the closet, blowing the mothballs off the Berkeley old football jumpers and really supporting their team.
And good on them. As we said, it has been a hard slog, but certainly getting a reward in the first game at home here this afternoon. As we see the clock counting down. 6-5-4. So I don't know if we'll see this one get back underway. We will. Harrigan puts this one high. And that is the hooter. And I think Wayne Bremner's just going to take this tackle. And that will be all she wrote. So it is the home side, Berkeley Eagles, run-out winners. First home game of the season, 26-6 over the Helensburgh Tigers. Back-to-back wins for the first time in 3 seasons. And they will remain competition leaders through 3 rounds. Outstanding start for the Eagles. A great performance here this afternoon. Johnny Pett, thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Mitch Jennings signing off for Bar TV Sports. We'll see you out there somewhere next week in the Illawarra.